Good evening, everyone. This is Aparna Mishra, founder of Women Shine. Welcomes you all today on a Facebook Live of it's a live which we are doing today on the book Happiness Quotient, which we have published in this year May only. And this is a book which has 20 happy stories, which is written by 20 authors, 20 women authors. So this is a book. You may see this book 20 authors, 20 stories, happiness quotient. So this is a wonderful book and it has lovely stories. So today we have picked up two authors who have written lovely stories. So let's talk. And we have Preeti Bawa Talwar and we have Meenu Chopra. So they have written two stories. So I think let me just ask Preeti, who will be the moderator, and Meenu will be the speaker, and they will talk. It will be an informal chat. They'll talk about the stories which they have written and how the thoughts came and how they have translated into text, and we have published it. So over to Preeti and Meenu.
Thank you.
Thank you, Aparna. Thanks for this opportunity. See, happiness, what do we define as happiness? Happiness means that one should be um, we should have a lot of control of our emotions, enjoy life, and seeing this opportunity was something which I wanted to seize. And like when I talk about my life or writing, I think that is what gives me immense happiness. When people say that an apple a day keeps the doctor away, I would say a write up a day keeps diseases at bay. If you agree to that, that is the adrenaline rush which we get out of writing. So all started, I should say, during my school days. I got this idea of writing. Then something pushed it at the back. And they say that destiny, if it is written and you're going to do something about it, then definitely it occurs. A long sabbatical, some health issues, and finding yourself in despair suddenly brought back this latent talent back to me. And four lines I'm going to quote from Doris Day's song. That is, K Sara Sara, whatever will be. The future's not ours to see. What will be, will be. So that is how I landed into this writing journey. And a little about this happiness quotient. I should say it was the 11th hour when suddenly I decided I must pen down something. It's related to my life, how from mom to ma'am. This is the journey of the happiness quotient. And I started penning down that during any time any issues occur, when you're feeling low, I think writing is what makes you go. And let me ask some questions from Meenu. How did you end up writing? I mean, you were into 18 years of rural ministry and doing that kind of work, then leaving it and then penning down books. How is this possible?
Okay, thank you, Preeti and Aparna, for having me here. So now you've asked about the writer journey. So I'll say, probably stories do fall on you. So nobody becomes a writer ever. So I'm not a kind of a writer. You'll give me a topic and you'll say write it. I'll not be able to do so. So my writing journey actually started in school. So they say, भाग लेने से भाग बनता है. So I've really believed in it. So I'll just share a very small story how I started because my work as a life coach now is with the children. So I always tell them just every step you do not know where it leads to. It will keep on changing your dimension. So I remember I was in eighth standard and I follow politics a lot. So I remember Bill Clinton defeated George Bush, who was then the president of America. So I didn't know why I was feeling so sad about it. So I had no connections with it, but still I wrote my first poem on George Bush. So one of my uncles, he came for dinner at home, and I told that I've written a poem. So he took my poem and he was in connection with some people in Delhi who had some libraries. So I didn't know he actually posted my poem to George Bush. So to my surprise, after 21, 22 days, I still remember that I receive a brown big packet, and it's written White House, Washington, DC. So that was a big surprise for me. And I opened it and I found a very beautiful photograph of George Bush, and he had personally signed it. So that remains, yeah. So that remains the most prized possession of my life till today. So that's how my journey became. But I was such a shy and introvert child that what I did was I actually framed that photograph and I carried in my school bag, and I didn't tell anybody. So only a few friends knew that what I've got. So one of my friends picked that photograph from the bag and she showed to a class teacher. And finally, my principal, she called the assembly, and she actually announced what I had received. So I think that incident probably it started the writing journey, because if that bag was not open, that photograph had not come, probably I would not have written. That would always have been like diary entry kind of a thing. So that's why I say, such things, be a musician, a painter, a writer. So these are the spiritual gifts that you get from existence. So I've always believed if it was not the first poem, I would not have wrote. Then after that, my journey of as a poet started, and later on, I shifted to writing stories. So this is about my writing journey.
That's great. It's so nice to hear that you've been inspired by White House. I mean,
Yeah,
that is
I
a
don't
big,
know why.
uh, big thing. Like, I
Yeah.
also had this that during the school days, writing was like a passion for me. Writing for the school magazine, going about it, and then suddenly, when after that sabbatical, when I got a chance, and the first thing was to do some writing, and the first break which I got was right on the Indian entrepreneur's soul. That is a chicken soup series, and that was my first break. Then writing on the Reader's Digest, writing on others. Then I got a chance for the Lip Clean magazine, and it has been so on. And I don't know who inspired you. Like you were saying that you were seeing about Bill Clinton, George Bush. I think I was seeing a lot of authors. Like mine was, I think I was still, sort of. These people who have chiseled me are Jane Austen. Then you can say books by Maya Angelou, and latest the memoirs and biographies which I have been reading is somebody like Zohra Sehgal. I don't know, the legendary actress. I think her memoir has been a very instrumental thing for me. Her zest for life really gave me the high. And I thought, no, I should also start on this journey. There's one thing that while you're writing, it's like you have to carry on. You can't just go back. Okay, Meenu,
Absolutely.
tell me, what exactly inspires you? Like, is it a regular way that you write, or is it some particular genre? Or how does it, I mean, you sit back and just start writing? Is it a daily affair, or is it sometimes when you're in the mood?
I think Aparna knows if there is one writer in this happiness question. So I was the most irritating one, because she, every day I used to receive her message on WhatsApp. Have you written? Have you completed your story? And I was completely numb. I had no answers. So I think she pushed me to write one of the stories in happiness question, because by that time I had already published my second book. So I had already done with my stories, whatever I had in me to write, and to showcase. So I actually was not finding any subject to write on. So what inspires me, so because she's so lovely, and it's a very beautiful book she has come with. So I really like the title because it resonates with my work, because I'm now a life coach. So I actually I'm trying to enhance the happiness quotient of people, and her title resonated with me. So I think that made me realize that I should write something which clicks to the readers. So now you've asked how I write and what my subject is. See, although I started with Ministry of Rural Development, my work was, with the grassroots level. I was attached with the artisans in India. So I think those are the real people. They have real stories. So whenever you are with ordinary people, you feel at home. So there's something organic and earthy about people who are actually working with hands. So my work was basically Gramshri Melas in the capital cities, and everybody knows about Saras in the international trade fair. So I've been connected with people, their livelihoods, their stories. So probably that makes you more sensitive and receptive towards stories. So how do I get the maybe the content of the stories? I think as a writer you have to be very receptive and open. If you are completely aware, you'll find stories on the faces of people. So probably if I'm talking to these artisans, or I'm talking to somebody, you'll actually find the stories, because whenever somebody is reading, so they are able to resonate with them. Many readers tell me, we felt that it was our story, how did you get it? So I think challenges are always there with people, and almost the challenges are similar. So that is how you, once you're receptive, the stories will fall on you. And how I write, yes, I'm not a writer, I don't have a writing desk. So mostly stories, I'll say, it falls on me. And I don't know how they fall on me. I've always dreamt about the stories, and somehow I recall them, and in the morning when I get up, I actually write the entire story. So that's why I say probably it's a spiritual gift. I'm not a writer. If you give a title, I'll not write it. It's only Aparna who got it, who got one of the stories from Happiness Question by giving me a title. Yet, what I liked about was, I've written Love Emanates in Happiness Question. And what inspired me to write was because now I'm presently working as a life coach. So, so my work is hearing all the sad stories of people, especially in these COVID times when so much mental exhaustion has already happened. So I penned down Nikita and Madhur. It's a complete fiction. Yet, why I came up with this story was because I've seen people, especially the younger generation, because now I'm starting to counsel the younger boys and girls. So after one breakup, they feel that's the end of their life. So either they get suicidal, or they'll resort to some alcohol, or something like that. So I thought, why not to inspire a younger generation that getting not into a relationship or a lifelong commitment is not the end of a life. It's just the beginning. So I thought that your life goals should remain with you. So whatever challenges life throws at you, you just have to kneel down and surrender to it. So this is what my protagonist Nikita does. She doesn't has she's not able to marry Madhur, so her love is done in this life. But what she does is, she doesn't sinks into her cocoon. She is not the typical younger generation who may resort to something negative. So what she does is, she pursues her UPSC goals, which I really liked. This is what I wanted to let my readers know. She didn't fall back on what had happened to her, and finally, after two attempts, she actually became an IS officer. So this is one of the reasons, and she actually found her happiness question by pursuing her goals.
Yeah, that's wonderful. I read your story, and it was a great thing that she'd uplifted herself instead of going into that
Exactly.
cocoon, as you write. So, the message which you are given to that particular story is great. I mean, you can't just have everything, and then after that, she's moved ahead and she's got light, and she's, I mean, that her life, through that, she's got the happiness. It's not
Exactly.
every time it's the happy ending, happily ever after is not the only goal. So,
Exactly.
yeah. And how do you get that setting there? Since you've used that Chandigarh and
Correct.
Tasoli and all that, how
Yeah.
was the setting?
So, Preeti, I think, when we write, and I'm sure you resonate because you're yourself a writer. So, whenever we pen down a story, there's a little bit of a writer in your stories. Okay, so whatever the life experience has been so far, so wherever you have lived, so Chandigarh is very close to my heart. I belong to there, so that city I've been there. I've started my I say that's my Karam Bhumi. So I think when you pen down some stories, little bit of your own memories come and fall on words. So this is the reason why I kept the setting Chandigarh. Maybe you're very close to some cities, or whatever your life experience has been, so you actually compile them, put, and then stories come up. So that was the reason why Chandigarh came in.
No, that was very nice. It was a good setting which you have given for that.
Mhm.
Exactly like you're just writing, and you're saying that everybody doesn't need to be a writer. I think writing is just all about catharsis. You just flow with the emotions, and I think everybody can become a writer. You just have to just pen down your emotions. That's all. And I think Aparna has given us that opportunity. Just pen down our
Exactly.
emotions and somehow get it into that anthology. Do you get the writer's block, Meenu? I just wanted to
Could
ask
you?
you, do you get a writer's block?
No, no, Preeti, again, not at all. I'm a probably I'll not write for months, and then suddenly maybe I'm reading an article, or maybe I'm talking to someone and I'll just get an idea. So, ordinary people inspire me, and maybe my work is such that whenever some case comes, or, there's a story of, I say there are stories behind the doors. So, you get to know so many people. I'm blessed that I'm in this field wherein I can, hear people out, because when they come to me, they know they'll never be judged. So they're very open. But probably these people are the reason what makes, new stories. So I mix up in such a way so that the identity is not revealed yet, because whenever people who read these stories, they've always found some answers to their own problems. So my work as a writer is done at that moment.
That's great. And since you started at the grassroots level, I think you'll be able to pen down more stories. Since you're much more in touch with the people, the ordinary people, I think more stories can come up. What is your future? You are planning to go into full-time writing, or you intend to just be the life coach?
Okay, so Preeti, yesterday only, I was reading somebody's quotation. I really liked it. So he had written that most of your future plans fall flat in the mid-flights. So I've never planned my life ever. So, if you ask me what I'm going to do the next moment, I do not know. And probably that's the best way to go, because as a mother also, I just educate my child, never plan anything. Let life unfold it, and you just keep flowing to the life. I think then you reach to some dimensions which you would have otherwise not planned to. So I have no future plans whatsoever. I've written two books, The Healer Within, Wake Up Zindagi, One Story is in Happiness Question. Yes, I write articles for Women Shine and Mompresso. I mostly write on like life and relationships. That's the plan, nothing else. So as the life unfolds, I'll be in it.
That's great. You have um, that's the way that you're going with the flow. It's really wonderful. And can you tell us more about those two books which you have just penned down, like Zindagi Na Milegi Dobara? What concept is
Yeah,
Zindagi Na
sure.
Milegi?
So, pretty my first book was The Healer Within, that came in 2014. Because after completing my stint with Ministry of Rural Development, I actually started my firm in Chandigarh, which is still running. So I'm basically a consultant, but at the same time, maybe that was a life calling. I became a life coach. So, when I became a life coach, the cases started coming, and uh, those were some cases those were unbelievable stories of people, what they are going through. So I just wanted to bring to some conclusion, or maybe what solutions I came up in resolving their problems. I wanted to compile it. So Healer Within was it was non-fiction. It was based on true stories of my clients, although I didn't reveal their identity. But yes, those are the stories, how people came with emotional or physical problems, and I could resolve them. So that was about The Healer Within. Now recently in 2020, I actually came up with Wake Up Zindagi. So I had been writing it since 4 years, but I had not finished all the stories. But yes, then COVID came, and I was closely in touch with the COVID families. So all across, yeah. So that was quite a learning experience for myself, and I could see, because I come from a family of doctors. So every day we were discussing all the cases, what the families are going through, and this is actually how I connected with Lucknow people more. As I say to Aparna, there's some connection. So then the stories kept, I'll again say they kept falling. So these are very strong women's stories. Women are always my protagonist. Maybe I'm biased in that ways. So these were the stories that I compiled, especially in this time, so that people, when they were losing their loved ones and hope for life, so why not bring something which may inspire or motivate them? And luckily I got a very good response from Wake Up Zindagi. Probably people were finding some solutions and answers to so many things that they could not discuss. So Wake Up Zindagi actually came, and so far the response has been good. People say that they could find themselves in my stories. So again I say my work was done.
This is wonderful that you could get a chance to meet people who are suffering from COVID, because it is a mental trauma, suffering with
Exactly.
so much of problem during this pandemic. And writing a book on that is a big thing. Do you do
Yeah,
anything
so
else? Sorry, please
yeah.
carry on.
So basically, these stories were not only of COVID families, but yes, what I've done is I've actually celebrated the various dimensions of women. So, we find every kind of woman. They may be loving, they may be affectionate, they may be arrogant, they may be, some may be very graceful. And whatever the challenges life faces, how they combated it, how they faced it. So this was, the mantra behind Wake Up Zindagi. And I think I was able to justify it.
So I would like
Wonderful.
to budge in between. I
Sure.
have Preeti. I can vouch for Wake Up Zindagi because I have read the stories and they are so touching and so emotional, so good. These stories, I can vouch on that. So people, please buy Wake Up Zindagi as well. It's a very good book with lovely stories. I've read
Yeah,
them.
we should go ahead,
Wonderful.
because she's coming with something which is very close to people nowadays, because we want to get rid of that mental
Hmm.
stress. So a story which is so touching, I think definitely everybody should go ahead with this book. And
Yeah.
second book is Aparna's initiative, which is Happiness Quotient. I think this is the most important thing required today, and I think people should go in for it, because it is available on Amazon. It is that small little bit which we have been able to compile, I think should help people, our readers, to read that particular book. uh, Aparna, I would like to ask you, how come you came into this, compiling this particular book? It's an initiative by you, and we got that chance. How did you come into it?
I don't know, I do very strange things. I just come up with something and I start working on that. So this is me. Actually, since I work with women entrepreneurs. So this was always there in my mind that I would have a book of, on these things, maybe something on women and all. But when when my Women Shine was there, so slowly I was, I don't know from where I thought, and then, yeah, I remember a few of my friends, they were writing some stories and all, So I thought, let me just compile these stories and why not get some. And then I wanted to have a theme as well, no? So I was hunting for theme and I discussed the name with Meenu as well. That what name should we keep and all. Suddenly happiness quotient. So she said, yeah, बहुत अच्छा है, इसी को करते हैं. So that's how, and this was not planned. ये हमने last year इसी, now why we are live in December, because this is 1 year now. Last December I started promoting this कि we need stories and all. So that was a time. So उसके पहले we started working कि कैसे करें क्या करें, and suddenly we thought चलो. And the beauty of this book is that all these 20 women, they're not actually authors. They're bloggers, they're passion for writing. They are, some are housewives, they just want to write. So it's a collection of things. So see, normally when you read any book, they are with typical authors. वो different type की book हो जाती है. This is something which is from their own heart, that book. So that's how this happiness quotient came. So I love the name, and I thought, let me just start. If I can get good articles, why not get a book? So I hunted for a publisher. I got in touch with somebody from Pune, and that's how all it began. Rest is history.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you. That was a big initiative. And I think everybody who brought into, whether they're housewives or young people or
Yes,
whatever.
yes, yes, yeah.
And I think it is happiness. You read everybody's story, it is exuding a lot of happiness, which is
Mhm.
missing today. And we do require it. when I penned down that, I said, no, I cannot go in for fiction. I can go in for a slice of life. And then I penned down this rekindling of the old flame. That
Yeah, your
was
own story, your own story.
my own story. Because what does a writer want? Just the
Yeah.
writing, penning down, and the flow of emotions. And I think
Mhm.
that is what most of us have done, right? Who is an author? Author is nothing, just the flow of emotions. You're penning down. There's catharsis. There's adrenaline rush,
Mhm.
and that's it. So I just want to ask Meenu, do you only want to write, or there are other passions which you follow besides writing?
I think, Preeti, we are in a world of social media. It is not. It doesn't allows you to follow your hobbies much now. Because I'm sure you can see the online status of everybody. Everybody is awake on WhatsApp or Facebook or Instagram. So, but jokes apart, I think writing is the only hobby I have. Although I do not sit, think, and write, yet I don't remember now if ever, because once you enjoy your work, probably that's your hobby. So I love my work so much because continuously I'm talking to people. I have 4 5 calls daily. So I think that's the best thing when your hobby becomes your profession.
That's wonderful. I think anybody who's creative and thinks in these lines, I think can do a lot of wonders to one's life. What are your future plans?
Again, no future plans, but yes, one thing I always feel is I'll just come back to happiness question, because we're talking so much about emotional questions. We already have worked so much on IQs, but actually HQ is the need of the hour, because that's the simple thing to have, and yet people are struggling to be happy. So they feel that they may be happy to do, maybe to just accomplish one dream or another, but I've seen people are actually struggling with their HQs. So that's why I always say them that happiness is actually a decision. It's not at all a journey or a destination, which many people believe. So, happiness question, when it came, this was one of the reasons I wanted to be in, so that decision making comes from your संकल्प शक्ति. तो मैं हमेशा सबको कहती हूँ कि खुश रहना बहुत ही ईजी है, बहुत आसान है. तो वो मुझे कहते हैं कि कैसे आप कैसे खुश रह सकते हो. तो मैं उनको बस यही बोलती हूँ कि आप संकल्प कर लो. आप सुबह 1 घंटा और शाम को 1 घंटा खुश रह लो, और 1 घंटे में नेगेटिविटी मत लेकर आओ. कोई प्रॉब्लम है उसको अभी वहीं के लिए होल्ड ऑन कर लो, 7 दिन का संकल्प करो. और उसके बाद आप नेक्स्ट वीक्स यू जस्ट स्टार्ट विद अ couple of hours in the morning and a couple of hours in the evening, and again it becomes a decision. And probably after 15 days you are ready. You decide to be happy the first half, or you decide about the second half, and this way people start increasing their happiness quotient. So I think that's one of the things that I actually wanted to tell my readers and all those people who may be hearing us today.
You've got a wonderful view about everything. I think your writing can become like a Zen like accomplishment, like you're a wellness coach that can help calm the mind during this pandemic. This is what we require, because without that, we cannot establish anything. If you're not calm, you're not tranquil, you cannot achieve anything. One
Exactly.
quote comes to my mind, like I was just reading Michelle Obama, and she says, "What we women can achieve, nobody can know. What we can accomplish is by far too much. Nobody can underestimate what power we women have." And I think we all should agree with that. What we women can achieve, like Aparna saying, see, she's putting her fingers into so many pies, and what is coming out of it, we women are prospering because of that. She's giving us a chance. And this Women in Shine magazine has so many facets to it. If you read, she has so many parts to it, and giving an opportunity to everybody, whether she's talking about health or shiny people or celebrities. I think it's wonderful. She's doing a wonderful work, I should say. Exactly. And today, like, women are coming out of the shells, they're voicing their opinion. It's a wonderful thing. We can't just push people back. And whichever arena we are having women, we're shining. What do you people say to that? Do you agree to that? That women can do everything. They are leaders. They are born leaders, and they can accomplish quite a bit.
Yeah, of course, I agree to it because women are born leaders. And then
Yeah,
just that you need to really, identify your potential
yeah,
and then have confidence and move ahead. हो ही जाएगा चीज़ है, you need to
very
be
right,
very
right.
persistent on this. And जरा सा भी if you think कि अरे pessimistic attitude होगा, then you'll not be able to achieve anything.
Yeah,
No, like I've been riding on a roller coaster ride since 11 years. So I know how it feels when you go up and how it feels when you go down. But that's a part of the
absolutely,
life. It's life goes
absolutely.
on. So you need to really
Yeah,
keep moving ahead with your goal. कहते नहीं है अर्जुन की तरह रहिए आप बिल्कुल you just put your focus everything on that
yeah,
goal. That's it.
yeah. Right,
So I think
absolutely right.
if
No,
if
I
if we
myself
women
feel
believe
that.
in this, then of course they can really do wonders.
Yeah. No, even I say that because a 20 year sabbatical can make you go down. I mean, I was
Yeah.
in sucked in a vortex of despair, And then suddenly I bounce back when I just
Hmm.
come to know that I get the epiphany that this is my path.
Hmm.
I, as a scientist, turned into a writer. So
Yeah.
suddenly, after that degree, I get this chance. And when I came to know that I'm going to pen down something and I'm getting it published for the first time in a chicken soup series, it was an ephemeral feeling, that
Hmm.
feeling I can't describe. So that is what I'm saying. Like, I think the minute we unleash our creativity, we can do wonders. So,
True. Very true.
yeah.
Absolutely.
So, Meenu, on what note should we end? Like, what more would you like to tell our readers and our audience? Since you are working as a wellness coach, as doing so much, how they can take way to make their lives better, to help themselves during this pandemic, especially since you've been working with the COVID people. I think you can give a good message so that life can be a bit better. This HQ
Sure.
is wonderful.
Okay, so Preeti, what I would like my readers to know is like, in moments of grief, do grief. Because I've seen in many people, unnecessarily कहते हैं कि अभी हिम्मत नहीं हारो और strong बन जाओ. So
Hmm.
there's a time for everything. So when anything is going down, you just be watchful. ठीक है और that's one thing that I tell to my people who come to me, and that's the way to live. जैसी चीजें हैं उन्हें वैसी देख लो, उसमें ज़्यादा philosophical logical होने का ज़रूरत ही नहीं है. And once you do it, I think जैसे अपन्ना ने कहा, I'll just add one thing कि आपका सेल्फ बिलीफ बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट होता है, लेकिन सबैटिकल्स आते हैं, बहुत कुछ आता है, यू डोंट हैव टू लूज योर ग्रेस, you remain grounded. This is one of the reasons why I'm attached with Women Shine and Apana in person, because if you see, because I have been in touch with so many women entrepreneurs, but one thing which they lose down the line is they lose their grace. And this is what my stories also tell, that whatever life throws at you, you don't have to lose the grace. You don't have to go you don't have to lose your feminine energy. Okay, so sometimes we do confuse between masculine and feminine energy. So look at her, I mean, she's so simple grounded, and probably this is the reason she's attracting people towards her, especially the women entrepreneurs. So that is one of the reasons. And what I always guide people is, आप बीज बस फेंकते चले जाओ, you never know कौन सा बीज कब sprout कर जाए. So, or
Right.
just keep a faith, and whatever life brings to you, you just kneel down, surrender, and then you have a power which may be inside you. You may not be knowing it, and you will not know when that strength catches you, and when you are able to do something which you may not have thought so. So these are the things that I generally tell to my people once they approach me, and that is how my life mantra has been neutral. Whether you are successful or something bogs you down, always remain neutral. So
Thank you
that's
so
it.
much. These wonderful words because you've given a lot of positive vibes to us. And
Thank you.
I think we should put that into practice. Very simple things, but a little difficult, but I think we can put it into practice. And
Yeah.
Aparna is a trailblazer, I should say, because the way she's helping out women and going ahead, I think hats off to her. I think, yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for
Yeah.
your kind words.
No, no, you are encouraging us as women. We are moving ahead. Yeah. Over to you, Aparna. I
You know
think,
what I believe that कहते नहीं है सबको लेके चलो. I think
yeah,
that is what one should do. It's not like only me. I know it has to be a we
yeah.
kind of thing wherein we everybody should grow together. That's the thing which I always feel about it. And that's how I think even in Women Shine, I always try to promote people. Okay, ठीक है, people, write me. I want to write and all. Okay, come on, carry on. Because everybody wants to write. Everybody wants that their name should be there. That feeling is there when you see your name, your article in the magazine and all. So I think that we should work. That's what no supporting everybody. Let's support women supporting women. That is what that is my mantra actually.
No, it's
So yes,
wonderful.
thank you,
Yeah.
Preeti. Thank you, Meenu.
Thank you so
Uh,
much, Aparna. And thank you, Meenu, so much. And I
Thanks.
think we should watch out for the next episode of Major Author
yes,
Series.
yes, yes, yes. We'll
Let's
be
do that
having
because,
a few authors. Like it will be on a monthly live show, wherein we'll bring in another author in the month of January who's written another lovely story. So again, I'll just try to promote this book. This is Happiness Question. This 20 stories by 20 authors. It is there on Amazon. I have shared the link also in the chat, so you can order now. It's a lovely book, of course, because it is my book, so I will tell lovely, but still it is lovely because everybody says that this is a lovely book, lovely stories. So thank you so much again. And it was lovely hearing Meenu. Yeah, you are a wellness coach. It shows that you're so soft spoken, cool. So it's lovely, lovely talking to you. Thank you, Preeti,
Probably
for
that
hosting
energy
this.
thank you
exudes.
so
I
much.
think, yeah, no, that, and in fact, that energy always exudes from. I really like to be here in this. Otherwise, I'm a very lazy person. Aparna knows that. Sometimes has to convince me to come online. So I'm a little lazy, but hats off to both of you. I really enjoyed speaking with both of you.
And Preeti is
Thank you.
also, she is so supportive. Preeti, you are really, thank you for all the
Thank you so
support.
much.
He was a person who was pushing me for this, for this live sessions. I said, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, and she
So
was the one because she pushed us into all this. When we started writing, I mean, this novel nuggets idea was a wonderful idea, and I think we you should go in for more of these things, these competitions
I will,
slowly.
yes. Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
I think help come out of the shell. People can voice their opinions, and we can have more such
Mm-hmm.
things and such authors. I think Women and Shine is one initiative, and this is could be another initiative of yours, so
Yeah,
that
yeah.
more budding authors can come onto the platform,
Yes,
and we can
right.
have more such talks, and we can be motivated.
Yes,
Because
that's
like
right.
she's motivating us with love emanates, I think more love can be emanated
Yes, more love should have made now.
emanate and happiness question
Yeah,
should enhance, isn't
yeah,
it?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
that's it.
Thank you so much again. Thank you. Have a lovely evening. Bye.
You
Thank
too.
Yeah.
you.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.
Thank you so much. Bye bye.